Good day everyone, we are the group 3 and we are here to discuss to you lesson 3 which entitled Psychological Criminology. So please watch so that after this video, we will learn something new. So first here is, what is psychology? Psychology is about people and focuses on the study of the human mind and behavior. Psychological criminology encompasses science of behavior and mental processes of a criminal. Here the focus is individual's criminal behavior, how it is acquired, evoked, maintained, or modified. It considers both the social and the personality factors and how these are mediated by mental processes. So, ibig sabihin, ang psychology ay about siya sa mental health ng isang tao. At psychological criminology naman, about siya sa kung bakit na-commit yung crime, kung bakit nagkakagawa siya ng crime kahit meron siyang mental health. So, psychological perspective on criminality. We have here the individual is the primary unit of analysis in psychological theories. So, the individual, from the word individual, ibig sabihin tayo yung primary unit ng analysis, primary unit at analysis ng psychological theories. And personality is the major motivational element that drives behavior within individual. So, yung personality talaga natin ang nagmo-motivate sa element or nagda-drive sa ating behavior bilang individual. That is our personality. And normality is generally defined by social consensus. So, pag normal naman, general define siya ng maraming consensus. And crime then would result from abnormal, dysfunctional, or inappropriate mental processes within the personality of the individual. So, ang crimes daw, kapag nakagawa ka na, ibig sabihin, ang dahilan nun ay either abnormal, dysfunctional, or inappropriate mental process pa ang iyong personality. So, criminal behavior may be purposeful for the individual insofar as it addresses certain felt needs. And last, defective or abnormal mental processes may have a variety of causes. Either diseased mind, inappropriate learning, or improper conditioning, the emulation of inappropriate role models, and adjustment to the inner conflicts. So, psychological deals with the mental health. Kapag meron tayong sakit na namamana or sakit na for example, we are in age of 18 and we are think like 7 years old. So it's easy to say that we are mental ill or we have mental health issues. That is psychology.
Hello everyone, I want to discuss psychoanalytic theory. The psychoanalytic theory divides the psyche into three functions, which are ID, ego, and superego. Some of you might heard these words from psychology subject. The ID, unconscious source of primitive sexual dependency and aggressive impulse. The superego, subconsciously interject social mores, settings, standard to live by. And the ego represents a sense of self and mediates between realities of the moments and physics needs and conflicts. I'll give you some example of psychoanalytic theory. Psychoanalytic theory in relationship. A lot of relationship problems can be explained via psychoanalytic theory. Someone who has been hurt in the past by people they love and should have loved them will often have trouble building strong relationship. Like Tom and Ashley were participating in premarital counseling. It came up during one session that Tom may have difficulty really believing that Ashley loves him because he never felt that his parents love him. A child who does not feel love at a young age may grow up to feel unlovable. Next, the psychoanalytic theory traumatic events. When a person experiences a trauma, that event can inform how they react to or approach future events. Even when one has learned to cope with a trauma that has occurred, it can unconsciously impact their future behavior. The violent behavior of criminals is often traced to the violent ways they themselves were treated during their formative years. Children who experience abuse normally such behavior, so it becomes within the range of what is acceptable to their ego. Last, psychoanalytic theory and the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind can regulate behavior in many ways. Sometimes your ID wants something that you can consciously admit that you want, but you do something that will let you get it anyway. Justin's parents have always encouraged him to play baseball and think he is an excellent player, but Justin would rather play tennis. His parents make him try out for the baseball team anyway. Justin does not make the team. He is good player, but on the day of tryout, he did not do well. He probably was not able to play his best because he deep down he did not want to make the team anyway. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Now I will discuss you what is cognitive development theory. The theory of cognitive development suggests that children's intelligence undergoes changes as they grow. Cognitive development in children is not only related to acquiring knowledge. Children need to build or develop a mental model of their surrounding world. And now, I will give you the first, second, and third stage of cognitive development theory. First stage, the sensorimotor. The sensorimotor stage is the first phase of children's cognitive development. During stage, children primarily learn about their environment through their senses and motor activity. Now, I will give you the sample of the sensorimotor stage. During the earliest stage of cognitive development, infants and toddlers acquire knowledge through sensory experiences and manipulating objects. A child's entire experience at the earliest period of this stage occurs through basics, reflex, senses, and motor responses. Second stage, the pre-operational stage. At the end of the sensorimotor stage, children start to use mental abstractions. At the end of 2, children enter the pre-operational stage where their ability to use mental representations rather than the physical appearance of objects or people improves greatly. The third or the last stage, the concrete operational stage. The next phase is the concrete operational stage, which begins around the age of 7. During this stage, children are more capable of solving problems because they can consider numerous outcomes and perspectives.
Criminological psychology and criminological psychiatry. Criminological psychology strives to explain the criminal behavior of individuals and is also concerned with reducing and preventing criminal behavior. And criminological psychiatry is also known as forensic criminology, is the application of the scientific process to the study of crime and work with a specific population in order to gather data and form theories to explain how to environment and other factors contribute to potential criminality. criminological psychology, and forensic psychologists. Criminal psychology, also referred to as criminological psychology, is the study of views, thought, intention, action, and reaction of criminals and suspects. It is a subfield of criminology and applied psychology, and forensic psychologists apply psychological theory to criminal investigation to help understand psychological problems associated with criminal behavior and the treatment of those who have committed offenses. They work with all aspects of the criminal justice system.
Today we are going to discuss about criminological psychiatry and forensic psychiatry. We have three types of criminological psychiatry. First, we have criminal psychology, criminological psychiatry, also known as forensic psychiatry, and criminal psychologists, also known as forensic psychologists. At first, what exactly is criminology psychology? It is the study of wills, thoughts, intentions, and reaction of criminals, and also partakes in the criminal behavior. And one of the important aspects of forensic psychology is the ability to testify in court as an expert witness, reformulate psychological findings into legal language of the courtroom. It is talks about the criminal wills, tolls, etc. In occur they to have a freedom to say their opinion, thoughts, and also their feelings. Next is criminological psychiatry, also known as forensic psychiatry. It talks about juxtaposition between mental order and criminal behavior. It also talks the difference between agility mind and guilty act. Also one of the rules of forensic psychiatry is to inform the court whether the accused is mentally disordered. It interface between law and psychiatry. It provides services such as determination of competency to stand trial and facilitate and provide treatment like education and psychotherapy to criminals. And lastly, criminal psychologists, also known as criminal psychologists. Those are the licensed professionals that can possess both mental and physical states. Psychologists create suspect profiles for law enforcement agencies, diagnoses offenders who might be criminally instant, testify in legal cases. They also look for patterns in behavior to individuals behind crime if there is a risk of sexual predator, reoffending if an offender is competent to stand trial whether or not a offender was sane or insane at the time of offense. And that's all today lessons. I hope you all understand and learn more things with me.
Who is criminal psychologist? When it comes to forensic science and psychology, Dr. Henry Lee is among the most well-known names in the world. Dr. Henry Lee is widely regarded as a leading expert in his profession due to his involvement in several high-profile criminal cases, such as those involving O.J.
System. So, what is criminal profiling? The criminal profiling process is defined by the FBI as a technique used to identify the perpetrator of a violent crime by identifying the personality and behavioral characteristic of the offender based upon an analysis of the crime committed.
Mental state opinion. The role of psychologists and psychiatrists in criminal justice is their ability to provide opinion regarding mental state of an offender. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, yung psychologist or psychiatrist ay kailangan nilang mag-provide ng opinion sa isang offender na alam nilang may mental health. And the following are significant court rulings which illustrated the contributions of psychologists and psychiatrists in criminal justice. So number 1 is M-Not-Hen or McNaughton Rule. McNaughton Rule, this rule excuses a defendant who, by virtue of a defect of reason or disease of the mind, does not know the nature and quality of the act. Ang ibig sabihin nito, ito yung offender ay hindi niya alam yung rason kung bakit niya ginawa yung crime na iyon. Number 2 rule is Durham Rule. This rule excuses a defendant whose conduct is the product of mental disorder. So, ni-excuse naman nitong rule na ito ang offender kasi kaya siya nakagawa ng krimen ay dahil sa kanyang mental disorder. Number 3 is the ALI test or ALI test. This rule excuses a defendant who, because of a mental disease or defect, lacks substantial capacity to appreciate the criminality or wrongfulness of his conduct or to conform his conduct to the requirements of law. So, ito naman yung disease or defect na lacks substantial. So, the last one question is, what is NGRI or not guilty by reason of insanity? Not guilty by reason of insanity is one potential outcome on the aforesaid type of trial. It is important to note that insanity is a legal and not a medical term. Often, there will be a psychiatrist testifying for both the defense and the prosecution. So, from the word not guilty because of insanity, ibig sabihin, hindi mapaparusahan ang isang mental disorder at kailangan niya rin ng psychiatrist na magte-testify ng kanyang sakit. So, that's all for lesson 3. Hope we learn something new.